is a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. 'Cause now you're listening to The Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to another episode of the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, where you join us in sunny autumnal Manchester. I've got Mick, I've got Jake here. We're going to be talking about Keegan Bradley's post-Ryder Cup blues, Jason Day copying Brighton, and GoodGood bringing back a incredibly famous and well-regarded TV show with the Golf Channel. But first, we just want to thank our sponsors at NordVPN. Now, if you haven't checked out NordVPN yet, make sure you go to nordvpn.com/the Rough Cut, because we have an offer for you.
Correct. So if you buy a 2-year plan, you will get 4 additional months completely for free, which is excellent value. You, right now, are in Egypt using it.
Yes.
As we speak.
As we speak.
Yes, this is true, where I'll be catching up on my favourite TV shows. Mostly, I've been using NordVPN this year pretty extensively because I've been travelling so much. What I tend to do is when I'm away, mostly with sports, is go into my favourite app so I can position my VPN in the world where my,
where your shows are
where
showing.
my streaming service is located, so I can watch it anywhere in the world. And also, I can do that with the knowledge that NordVPN is exceptionally secure and safe.
Yeah, Jacob, it means you can watch Bake Off wherever you are in the world.
Yeah, and you know me, I can't miss my Bake Off.
I have no idea. Do you even like it?
I don't watch Bake Off, but,
No, but
we
you
had a lovely moment in a gas station watching the US Open. That was quite nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Random memory that was.
That was with a VPN?
Yeah, congratulations, JJ Swan, just in case you are
Forgot.
listening
Yeah,
or watching
that's
this.
hot news off the press.
Yes. But NordVPN have been a fantastic supporter of the podcast. So if you do want a VPN, make sure that you go check them out. One more time, nordvpn.com/the Rough Cut. Or Rough Cut, should I say?
/Rough Cut.
Right, guys, let's get back into the podcast. So, item 1, GoodGood. We found out last week they announced that they're going to host their own PGA tournament, which is going to be in the fall of next year, 2026.
The fall.
But also, which it probably means more to me than it does you guys, because I remember when this show was first being aired many, many years ago, like back when I was a kid. The Big Break.
Which was a long time ago.
The Big Break. Colour TV just been introduced,
Yeah.
and The Big Break was on. So, do you guys know about The Big Break? Do you know anything about it?
I have no idea.
I thought it was the snooker show with Jim Davidson.
That is also true. And John Virgo, obviously.
Correct.
Wow, Nick hates John Virgo. Breaking here first. We have... so when it first started, it was one of those shows which... When it began, it was something new, it was something interesting, and the older it got, they changed a few things, and the less interesting it became.
Right, okay.
But also, the original format, it really had a big prize. So there was about, I can't remember exact, but let's say there's 10 professionals enter the Big Break. They go through a series of challenges. They're all golf specific, but they're not all just out on the course.
It's
they're
not playing golf.
They're chipping, they're pitching challenges, iron challenges, driving challenges, break the glass.
Set up your bag the best.
Yeah. Clean your clubs.
So all like every kind of challenge you could imagine within golf, and there's a knockout format. So each week somebody goes home until there's 2 players left. Now originally, out of the 2 players that were left, they'd play the match, so 18-hole match, and then the winner of that got an invite into a tour event. So with the GoodGood Cup kind of coming in the fall of 2026, what they've done is they've teamed up with the Golf Channel, who I'm presuming still own the rights to the Big Break, and they brought it back. So what we know so far, we got Brad and Sean from GoodGood, who are both very, very good players who you would imagine potentially get an invite to this event anyway. You got Bubby and Garrett, who are going to be non-competing team captains, and then Matt, who's going to be presenting.
Which makes sense. Like those things.
Yeah.
All of those things line up beautifully, which is great.
Yeah. And there's going to be 12 golfers for one spot at the GoodGood event.
What you're saying is this is basically the golf version of Wayne Rooney Street Striker.
Oh my God. I had forgotten about that show. What a show
Did
that
you never
was.
watch Wayne Rooney Street Striker? Well, now we're in my ballpark. Let me tell you about it now. No, it was basically the same kind of thing. Like it just took sort of footballers who believe they were pretty good, and then they kind of put them against in like football-based challenges, but it was set on the streets. So there was like a high rise, and they would like throw balls off different balconies on this high rise, and they'd have to like bring it down and then like put it into a skip.
Right.
But this is the same, like hitting stingers, but they're not actually playing football. They're just doing these like. And I remember there was one where they had to dribble and they would roll tires, and they had to like go around the tires.
So this is the same, I suppose.
They're smashing glass with stingers.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when it came on first time, and it was. I think I used to watch it when I worked as a kid at the driving range. It seems to be like bringing back a memory. But
you've lived so many lives.
So I just need to kind of. So what date? What is this, like early 2000s? Is this?
When were you a kid?
Right. Okay.
It's a very narrow window. And in Preston, our child labour laws are pretty loose. So from the age of 6 to 12, I was. Manning the front desk.
You were a man already.
I was already had a beard. So it was kind of one of those where, and it properly hooked me. And I remember watching and being really engaged with the whole kind of process. And then, same as anything, as mentioned, I kind of went away from it. It kind of lost interest. But it's something which there's so many people each year say, "Oh, this should be brought back. We want to see this again." But until this point, it felt like maybe it didn't have an audience or it didn't have a true purpose. Mm-hmm. But with GoodGood kind of spearheading this, it makes sense, and it really is a great form of marketing for that event, which is going to be in November next year.
Yeah, so I think I imagine it's going to go out on the Golf Channel because the Golf Channel own the rights to the show.
Yeah.
But then there'll obviously be loads of like extra content coming from the GoodGood lads during the filming, during the releases. So are we going to get bombarded with like loads of great content from this show and then the behind the scenes stuff? I think it's going to be great. I'd be interested to see who they get playing in it. If they've got Brad and Sean, does that mean that there's maybe a pathway for someone like a Peter Finch to come and play in it? Would you like to go and play in it?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that'd be great, but I'm not sure. I don't know who would be kind of best placed for this, because you've obviously got Brad and Sean, members of GoodGood, very, very good golfers. You do have a collection of kind of YouTubers, influencers who could fill those other spots.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is going to be more like a Q at Myrtle Beach kind of circumstance where they might have some influencers playing, but they also might have some young up and coming pros, young amateurs who, exceptional players who could get a spot at this event. Yeah. It depends how they want to. It depends how they want to position it, and it depends not how serious they want to take it, but the angle that they're going to try and discover from this. Because both Brad and Sean are really good players, and they've played different tour events kind of across their
Brad played in the Masters
and the US Open.
And the US Open.
So we're talking about two very good players there.
And Sean wears toe socks. So.
And we watched that video the other day. I think did Sean shoot? I think Sean shot like a 62 or a 3, and then Brad shot a 62 or a 3. Yeah, they're very, very good golfers. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're not in it anyway. But then it just depends who else they're going to have. If they're going to go down more of an influencer route, or they're going to, because they also have, you think about it, they also have quite a lot of sponsored players themselves. A few of them are already on tour, but a few of the younger guys are kind of Corn Ferry and up and coming. So
they've got Joel Damon and a couple of others.
They've got a lot of people who they could contact and like try and secure a place for. So.
Sorry, just to interrupt them, mate. You mentioned a few names there, obviously people who could play in it, but when we were speaking about this before, you were saying that in the old version, there was people that we kind of know now who were in it.
Well, I know Wes. I know Wes was in one. Yeah. Was George in one of the old ones as well? But basically, Brian Bros. Tony Finau was in one of the original ones. I'm almost certain, again, I don't think I watched the Tony Finau one, but I'm pretty sure he went out like in the first round. I'm not saying that the GoodGood... I am not saying that the
it's not good litmus test
the
for
big break format is not absolutely guaranteed to find one of the best golfers in the world. But I think who else was on there? There's a few other names. I remember Two Glove Tommy, and Two Glove Tommy was great. He basically had Aaron Rye style,
love,
two gloves on, wild, like absolutely nuts, but somehow managed to win kind of pretty much every single challenge.
Love that.
So you do get like characters being brought forward from this type of event. But I think it'd be good. I think it'd be interesting.
Okay, so they're bringing back the big break. Why is that so difficult to say? I have no idea. What challenges do you want to see? You're talking about stingers. You're talking about high wall flop shots. What challenges do you want to see on the big break?
I've already got one that they can just go straight away.
Yeah?
Just turn on Foresight and get an FX6 skill challenge going. It's got it all. It's got a flop shot. It's got 100 yards. It's got 150 yards.
Like a real life one.
A real life
real life
skills challenge.
I mean, I think they probably will have. So they'll have the Stinger challenge. But I think what they'll probably do is the challenges, and this is what I probably want to see. They'd have the challenges, so like Stinger challenge, flop shot challenge, skills challenge, say, for example. They will use them as a way to potentially rank people to go into a playing situation.
Got you.
And then they'll have a bit more of a face-off format.
Right.
I would imagine. It depends how quickly, because they've got 12 golfers, so that says to me it's probably going to be 10 episodes. Someone getting eliminated each week. It depends how quickly that they want to get to that final.
Get them out.
Yeah.
Because, 12 golfers, you're looking at at least a good few weeks of filming there to get all that done. And I can't imagine they're going to film this for a month. I might be wrong.
Well, they could, in theory, then if they did it back to back days, like 10 days of filming, like by the end, are they all just absolutely, they're all battered and they can't
that's what I mean. I don't think they're going to be having 18 holes every day to determine who's going through.
So do you imagine the Stinger challenge, it takes someone 3 shots to break the glass. It takes someone else 5. Those two, the 2 people who come last play each other. The person that loses leaves.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they use that as the setup. And then they think, maybe they just kind of take the kind of good video bracket they've got and they do gauntlets, spin the wheels,
T-flip.
Imagine it is literally the longest week in golf. So you got 10 rounds. Each of 10 rounds, one every day. But you also do a challenge in the morning. The challenge in the morning either gives you shots or take away shots, gives you mulligans.
There you go.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah, you got little cards you can play in the round and that'll be good. Retakes and
the thing is why not? Why not? Ultimately, the big break, if it's going to go on the Golf Channel as well, it's about entertainment, and as long as they have good golfers entered into it to begin with, whoever comes out of the process and wins the big break 2026 and gets in the event, they're going to be a good enough player to compete anyway. So they might as well have some fun with it.
Exactly.
Do they want to go down the slightly cleaner and tidier TV made for TV option, or do they want to go utter good chaos and make it much more of a YouTube video style than a TV show style?
I would say they probably have to make it more of a YouTube style, because if the big break was actually massively popular, it would still be going on its own.
Right, got you.
So it has to be brought back, and something new has to happen to it. And I think GoodGood know about golf entertainment enough to make it really good.
Well, that's the thing. I think you can't not do it without putting GoodGood's touch on it. The way they know how to do things is by doing that kind of stuff. So if you kind of try and polish them up and make it more straight cut,
Matt Sharp in a suit.
Do you know what I mean? I think the thing is, I could see that, with his shirt untucked and his buttons undone and everything. But I think if they're going to go for it, they have to kind of really lean into that side of things, because that's who they've got involved.
Yeah.
So why not use that and utilize their kind of ability to do that kind of thing? I've never watched it, but I will tune in when it comes out to see what it's like, because I'm intrigued to know the format is and what the actual show is going to be like.
Yeah. Cool. Guys, and if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you get down to those comments below. Let us know what you would like to see as far as challenges. And if you are listening to this on your favorite podcast provider, thanks, I suppose. And also give us a 5-star rating. Right, guys, we'll be straight back after this.
Okay, so here's the news. Jason Day has made some pretty drastic equipment changes. Pete, you're gonna give us the details on what some of these terms here mean, but let me just break it down for you.
Okay.
Basically, Jason Day had a little bit of time off. He came back to play at the Bank of Utah, and turned up with only 13 clubs in his bag.
I like that.
Which for a tour pro is just very, very strange. and had made, it says here, a bevy of changes. So that's what we're going to say, a bevy of changes to his equipment. Basically, he turned up with all new Avoda prototype irons, as well as new shafts, new grips, and he's got a hybrid in the bag, which for a Tour Pro, again, is something you don't see every day. So he's gone for the curved face, made famous by Bryson DeChambeau, Avoda irons.
Right.
Basically, he did a load of testing, and he said that immediately his dispersion was smaller and tighter with the new irons. He's got a lighter shaft in the bag, Jumbo Max grips, which you'll know something about, having used them for a while. And he basically said that the heavier shaft that he used to have, which is the Dynamic Gold X7 136 gram that you'll know all about.
Yeah, and me, obviously. Yeah.
He has now gone to a KBS TGI Tour Graphite
He's
110
graphite
gram.
in it.
Yes, so he's gone for the old man clubs. What the heck do these changes mean? Talk to us about the grips. Talk to us about the irons. And then we'll decide whether this is going to become a thing or not. You don't seem impressed.
I mean, I'm not 100%. So with curved face irons, so just so everyone is kind of aware of this, curved faces in golf clubs, they're normally just reserved for your kind of metal wood. So you have your driver, your 3 woods, and your hybrids. Now a curved face, so it's more bulged in the center, and then it curves off to the right, curves off to the left, and it gives like this. And it's a half moon shape. It's not. It's obviously a lot less drastic than that. But if you hit it off the toe, you hit it off the heel, something called gear effect comes into play. So something which hits off the toe twists the club around to the right-hand side if you're a right-handed golfer. Gear effect causes hook spin to be put on the ball. So that's why when you hit your driver off the toe, usually it will curve back round to the left. Or hit it off the heel, it'll curve back round to the right. This also comes into play top and bottom. So if you hit the ball slightly more out of the top of the club, it's going to change spin rates. Like the bottom of the club's the best example. So if you hit a shot low off the face with a driver, it will spin upwards.
Yeah, and and goes much less distance.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the thing is, the curvature of a face, especially with the woods, is a common theme. We know this, but with a driver and a fairway wood, generally they're a little bit more difficult to hit. You will need a little bit more forgiveness.
Right.
But also the head construction is very different. You know, these are hollow-headed for the most part. There's certain things about this that make sense.
Yeah.
However, if you have a curved face on an iron, you won't be able to curve the bottom of the face. Like it only has to be from left to right, so across.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a loft change issue there that you need to...
Because otherwise it'd be like a big hill in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, and essentially when you hit a good iron shot, you're going to hit it from slightly off the lower on the club anyway.
Right.
You don't always hit like the center of the club.
Yeah, slightly below center.
Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure, and I don't know 100% how the tech works. I would say, and I would always put this in the point of view that Bryson DeChambeau uses these irons, had a hand in designing them. Obviously, Jason Day is using them as well, which is great. But there are only 2 golfers out of the very best in the world who are actually switching to this. And you're seeing players, Scotty Scheffler's obviously the classic example of this. He seems to be doing okay with standard irons. And the rest of the professional game seems to be doing okay with standard faces as well. So is this a move forward or not? I don't know. I don't know if it would make actually much of a difference in order for everybody to switch. I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, but do you not think that, there was this talk must have been happening as metal clubs came in and we went from persimmon to metal? It was we've been doing great with persimmon clubs for years. Why would we need to change?
The only difference is with let's say
maybe not a perfect example.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, from a wooden club to a metal club, especially hollow-headed constructions, the main difference there is there's an obvious advantage.
Right.
Like if everyone's turning up with metal clubs and then you got 3 guys, if everyone's turning up with persimmon and 3 guys turn up with a hollow-headed metal construction, they're hitting it 40 yards past everybody with a lot more forgiveness.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everyone's going to be like, that's a big advantage. So we're obviously going to move over to that. Same with steel shafts back in the day. the graphite shaft or the carbon shaft KBS is probably what you'll be looking at as the next move. Because if you think about steel shafts have been in place now in irons for literally ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, who no one will remember, no one here listening to this will probably play with hickory shafted clubs in a serious
I was going to say, you bloody have.
But that's been the same forever. Now, carbon shafts do offer an advantage over steel as far as how they can make the construction. They can play with the weights, they can move it around a lot easier. But steel shafts have been such a mainstay for a long time. That's more of a traditional, people know how that feels. So why would they change?
Yeah.
That can only be demonstrated through obvious gains, which again, I think is hard to show. It's hard to show obvious gains in golf. Like the wooden head to a steel head to a titanium head construction, you can really track the benefits.
You can see the average driving distance
Of course you can.
creeping up over time as more and more people put them in play.
Yeah. Like from smaller heads to bigger heads. You know, driver heads only used to be pretty small. Now we've got 460cc, and there's a reason it's capped at that. Because if you go bigger, you'll get more forgiveness and all the rest of it. So
There's also the factor that like golf is a sport where you have equipment, but that equipment is controlled by a person, and the person fluctuates throughout the year, as a professional golfer will, of how good and how badly they're swinging it and how bad, you know, obviously they're trying to close that gap of the, if they put a bad swing on the ball, that the club is going to help them like they have with drivers and like they have with those kind of things. It's, you know, there is also another element to this that, you know, comes into account. I just had a very, very quick look, because obviously he's playing, well, he played yesterday. Yeah. He lost 0.4 strokes off the tee. In approach yesterday. Lost 0.4. Yeah. So he was losing strokes in the field. But again, it's obviously one round. It's
also, like I say, it's individual. It's individually based. So, you know, we saw when we went over to the States and visited Titleist early this year, you know, Justin Thomas's literally zero offset bladed irons that he uses. Great for him. Great for him.
Yeah, if you're a random chopper, don't use those.
But not only that, like tour pros, like he's the only real. There are kind of minimum offset clubs, but he's by far the most extreme example on tour that uses them. Yeah. You have Bryson with one length irons. You know, he's realistically the only tour pro that uses them. Arm lock putters, he does use one of those as well, but that's an example of something which other people have then implemented. But there are disadvantages for many people using an arm lock. You know, to have a piece of equipment that widely sweeps over the professional game and then kind of filters through, that's pretty rare. Probably the best example recently is like a zero torque, a lab putter. That has now started to infiltrate. That is now something which you can point at and say, that in recent years has been the biggest development in tech and change.
And we're seeing the actual results, like winners of majors are using the zero torque putters, and all of the biggest players in the world wanted to gain strokes on the green and have gone to putters which provide them with more forgiveness. So we're seeing the actual outcome of the changes.
I suppose you could take that further and not just say even zero torque, but just the move from blade to mallet and just something that's a bit bigger of a putter. You know, you think of just that. I mean, it's been a very gradual one and it's coming over the years. And obviously, mallet putters have been around for a while now. But obviously, it's taken another step with the zero torque. But you look at someone like a Scotty who did that last couple of years and he's now moved into one of the best putters in the world from making that change into something that is quite a modern thing, really, in putters.
I think you could probably. I don't know this, but I reckon out of the top, 20 players in the world, a significant number of them will be using mallets over your traditional bladed design.
Yeah.
Obviously, using a bladed design, there's still a lot of good putters who use that. And the difference is, just so everyone knows, between a blade and a mallet, you will generally get more forgiveness on off-center strikes in a mallet because of the perimeter weighting and a higher moment of inertia. So that's resistance to twisting.
I love how techie this is getting, by the way. We have done gear effect and MOI.
Yeah, and the reason it matters in putting and the reason you see so many people shift is that speed control within putting is often more important than line. So if you get control over your speed, you will hold more putts. And if you strike a bladed design from off-center, generally speaking, you're going to lose more control over your speed, which is why you tend to see this shift. Now, an arm lock, for example, that works for a lot of people because they can lock their left arm off if you're a right-hander, keep that as a static position and work the whole technique around that. But
Much more body and much less arm.
probably just more left arm.
Just left arm, right,
And then you
okay.
keep that locked out, you rock the shoulders in a pendulum action, but everything's a lot stiffer, everything's a lot more rigid. Now, for a lot of people on short putts, massive difference. That, for me, when I was using one and giving it a go, that's where I really...
Yeah, I think there's one over there somewhere.
Yeah, that's where I really kind of thought it was great.
Right.
On longer putts, I lost a lot of distance control
Yeah.
because I couldn't judge speed correctly.
You need 2 putters in the bag.
That would
Yeah.
that would
Short and long, that would be good.
There is a guy at Withington who I played with in a comp who has 2 putters in the bag. He has arm lock for short putts and a normal putter for long putts.
Yeah,
I get it.
I kind of like it.
yeah. I think I would say he probably needs to look at something other than his equipment.
Yeah.
If I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the zero torque. That's probably the biggest difference recently.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's kind of hard to see where that next big breakthrough is going to come.
Yeah. So if you don't think it's the curved face irons being the next big thing, what do you think comes after arm lock? Like comes after zero torque? Like what else can we do to golf clubs to make it easier to put the ball in the hole? Because we've got, like drivers are getting more and more forgiving. That's every year, every company says more forgiving and longer and straighter.
Yeah.
Iron head designs, everyone's going, like it feels like there's a trend of people going for more forgiveness over that tiny little blade thing, maybe not in the professional game, but in the rest of the world. And then putters of, where's the next change coming?
I mean, the only real difference that can come, I think, in the full swing game, I want to look at it like that, is going to be if any new materials are used.
Right.
Because you've seen this with TaylorMade putting carbon in their faces rather than titanium. But generally speaking, most golf club constructions now use a crown. So most of the club is a titanium and carbon mix.
Yeah.
Or an exceptionally light titanium. Like the crown on a titanium driver, like the GT3 I'm using at the moment, there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly light. And unless there's a new material which comes out, because I think with TaylorMade and with the carbon face, it's different and it's new and it's interesting, but there's not been a big enough leap in performance there, as you'll notice, for every other manufacturer to go, that's what we're going to do.
And they were a little bit cracky, those.
Get me a carbon provider on the phone.
But that's the thing. It's not to say that won't be the future and that breakthrough can't come. But the advantages of using that driver compared to your normal strong titanium seems to be pretty limited.
Yeah.
It seems to be very similar at the moment. So if there's a new material which comes along, a new construction that comes along which adds a real advantage, then that could change the game. But at the moment, I don't really see working within the rules what can change that massively.
Yeah. What about the mini driver? You're really liking that? That's a trend from the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, all the mini driver is it's quite literally what it says. It's a smaller version of the driver that I'm currently using, but with more loft.
It's just like a 2-wood.
Yeah, and those have been around for a while. What I love about the mini driver is just off a tee when there's a tight tee shot, I can use it, I can put it into play, I can manipulate it a little bit more in the air because of the added loft, bit more forgiveness, and I can also hit it off the deck. And I very rarely use a 3-wood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of golfers out there who would, and to be fair, there's a lot of tour pros now who are actually taking out a 3-wood anyway, using 4 or 5-wood respective lofts, because 3-woods with modern tech and with modern faces, they tend to go too far.
Yeah, so there was didn't Rory talk about this maybe end of last season? He said that he's put a 4-wood in which doesn't go as far as his 3-wood, but he can still hit it 280 or whatever.
Look what he did in India. He just didn't even play the driver. Just hit 3-wood off the tee because it goes far enough for him.
It's all about spin rate. So the driver, you want the driver to go as far as possible. You want an optimum launch, carry, spin rates, and all of that is designed so it flies through the air as far as it can go. Then when it lands, it can run as far as it can go as well. Like that's all you're wanting for the driver. Like, it's very rarely that you will stand up to a hole and say, I really want this driver to go less distance. So as soon as you go off the driver, that's when you come into your control clubs.
Yeah.
And the problem with many modern 3-woods is they go too far, they don't spin.
Right.
So you can set up there with a 3-wood. And I remember this from, like, back in the day. When was the first one? The Sim Fairway woods.
Yeah. Mhm.
This is when I really initially started to notice it. Set it with the Sim 3-wood, cracked it, thought, my God, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, really good. But it's flying, like 10 yards less than my driver.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, that's not what this club is for. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very, very rare that you're going to stand up and say, okay, I want to hit my 3-wood 280 yards.
Yeah, that's normal driver for...
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like you go from that, you say, okay, what is this club going to do for me? Can I carry it a consistent distance, say 260, but it's going to have enough spin that when it lands, it will stop.
Right.
Because it goes onto a controlled club rather than a simple power club. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I kind of feel I've just been ranting there for no reason.
Yeah, well, the golf nerds are loving this segment.
Well, that's why I'm using a mini driver, because I very rarely use the mini driver off the fairway. And if I'm using it off the fairway, I usually hit a big cut, which adds spin.
Yeah.
And then my next club is my hybrid, which I know will spin and stop.
Yeah, so if you have seen the Head Pro match, which came out yesterday.
For Carlisle.
Am I right?
Carlisle?
Yep.
Yeah. Pete hits a very satisfying, controlled, fadey slice from the fairway with the mini driver.
Yeah.
That's the exact shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. But can you hit it the other way? Can you control it from the ground as well? Because that's what people will use their 3-wood as the I need to advance this as far as possible from the fairway. But that you have a little bit more. I felt like you kind of have a bit more control.
I think certainly a lot of pros will, if they have a 3-wood in the bag, they'll use it off the fairway, but they'll, again, probably use it off the tee if they want to draw something. So just a little bit more loft can help them get a draw, if they're a natural fader of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah. I mean,
Nice.
it just depends on the individual.
Okay, so I've got here some equipment trends, right? Talk to me about each of these as quickly as possible, and then we're going to get to the last one, and we're going to talk about that in depth.
Yeah, okay.
Go.
So,
mini drivers.
Mini driver, great. We'll be here to last, but we'll have a smaller uptake.
Okay.
Just because they're quite an individual club.
Arm lock putters.
Yeah. Here to stay, but it's only for people who've probably given up on other putters.
Speaking of giving up on other putters, broom handle putters.
Actually, I quite like broom handle putters, but for me, it's a very unusual action to use. I don't particularly like using them, but I could see how they would be great for other people.
Zero torque.
Yep, here to stay. I think that's shown to have an advantage, and it's certainly popular. What am I trying to say?
It's popular.
It's popular.
And it works.
It's popular and it works, so it's probably going to stay.
It's made it to the mainstream.
Cool. Thanks for that.
People won majors with it.
Yeah.
It's doing the job. One length irons.
Probably underutilized. However, there are still issues as far as launch, spin, and carry because of a standard length. Like the iron head does need to change throughout the set if you want to get the similar launch and spin numbers that you would get off a standard length of irons.
Right, because you're standing at the same distance from the ball.
It's more the length of the club and the speed that can be generated with that club.
Right.
Which then affects launch and everything else.
Sorry to jump in this. And do you think then that advancements in one length irons, if they could get that, do you think that could be a pretty big shift?
I mean, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
You only have to learn to swing one way, and it works for every distance.
That could be the next.
Yeah, I mean that's the theory behind it, but they're certainly not at the point now where it's going to get a mass exodus towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to see square driver heads coming back?
I reckon we probably will. everything
comes back.
Everything will come back around. Like with square drivers, we talked about the SQ from Nike.
Play the sound.
The Callaway.
The Callaway.
Yeah, what was that?
God, I've got IQ in my head now. Cubed or whatever else. But there was
Oh yeah.
there was a
I remember
spell.
that one. They're like blue and red and
it was red. It was
I
more
know the
ready.
one. Yeah,
But
yeah.
there was a spell. There was a spell of these drivers coming out. You also had things like initially like the Callaway Fusion driver, which was more of a triangle shape.
Yeah, I played that a couple of times.
And the Titleist D2 or D1, which was also more of a triangle shape.
The
FTI.
FTI.
That's the boy.
So the idea behind those kind of
had that
headed
as a three-wood.
drivers. Yeah.
You had that as the one.
Yeah.
The idea behind those drivers was with a square design, again, you can push perimeter weighting into the extremities of the club, so back right, back left. And then with a triangular driver, again, you can pull the weight right back and get as far away from the head as possible to improve forgiveness and launch. Now, with the original Fusion driver Callaway, that was really good. I used the Titleist version for a while of that as well. This was back when I was 18, 19. So it was a while ago.
25 years ago.
So it's going to come back around again. It has to. It has to. These things always come back around.
They do have to fix the sound, though. I remember being on
the Nike SQ was horrendous.
I remember being on the driving range. In fact, at Trafford, when I first got into golf, when I moved to Manchester, and hearing someone hit one and being like, "What on earth is that?" Like, it's horrible. But also, when you hear it, you're like, "Wow, that's like real impact."
It's noticeable. Yeah. It's even worse when those kind of clubs when you're at a range where it's got a bit of a lower roof, so like the sound is encased more. Jeez.
Oh god, they are
tinnitus.
Gunshot.
They sound bloody horrible. Now, second to last thing we'll talk about. I'm going to talk about this very quickly. But speaking of equipment advances. TGL have made some changes for next season.
Oh, great.
I know you're really excited about this. This is some real news. They have increased the size of the putting surface by 38%.
Hello.
Woo!
Why didn't they just find like the other 2%?
Yeah, just make it 40.
That feels like they've made it bigger and then they've measured it.
Well, yeah, that's what they have.
Carry on.
They have, which means that they can have more pin locations for TGL for the new season. And the other thing that they've done is they put in a revetted bunker face,
Always like that.
Amazing.
which is...
I mean, looks great.
Yeah.
Indoors.
Never a bad thing.
Strange, but okay.
Yeah. And then the hitting boxes that they hit off of have been enlarged
Good.
because the players felt like they were standing too close to like the heels were.
I get that.
You know when
Yeah.
you're near the cart path?
Yeah.
It's like when you play in a sim sometimes.
Oh.
And you're kind of towards the back of the thing quite close. I remember the old one where like the putting green thing used to just when you took the club away, you felt like you're going to hit it.
And they have now added a removable lip in front of the sandbox so that they can add a bunker face in front of you when you're hitting fairway bunker shots.
Right. Okay.
What did they have before? Didn't they just have like almost like a... It was like a little thing that just came up and down, right?
Yeah.
And just exaggerated the... Yeah. Okay.
Then there's also each team is going to have their own hole, their own specialist hole, which has got their localized backdrops and terrain specific for that place that they're from.
Manhattan skyline for...
Correct.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Any of this sound exciting? Are you excited about TGL coming back in the new year?
I'm really digging deep to give a about it. I just don't. Maybe it's just because I'm a bit tired, but I'm like, it didn't really grab me last time.
Yeah.
And it's not making me too excited about the coming year either. I don't know. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. Maybe this is something which I can get into a little bit more, but honestly, like all this is doing is making what I thought was a pretty average viewing experience into something which is a bit bigger. That's kind of it.
Do you know what the problem with it for me is that I did enjoy watching it and I will look forward to it coming back. The problem is it's just not great to view here because it's in US prime time.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe.
I don't really have that like, I'm going to sit down and watch TGL and the second match starts at midnight or whatever. I'm just like, I'm not going to stay up for that. And then so my kind of the way I used to take it in was from highlight packages and sort of things like, which again, you don't get the impact of kind of what's really going on. I think that the other thing is obviously kind of in the similar scope of what with Liv is that because the teams are so new and everything's new and there's no history and there's no pedigree to it and there's nothing really on it and you don't really kind of feel that like, oh, I really want them to win because of this. I'm hoping that as it gets older, that it will do that a little bit more. And obviously with the teams kind of staying, supposedly there's another team on the way as well. Maybe adds a little bit more of like there's rivalries that form and things. I'm trying to like think of what could be, but it's hard. You're trying to have to like really force it out of you to kind of get invigorated for this kind of thing.
We've been having the same conversations about Liv for the last 3 or how many years that's been going. Like it's, as it grows, will I start to care about the thing eventually? I don't know, but like you're competing against events which are like 160 years old. This is why I said that I think they should just go way further with it and just make it super gamey and super, like technologically orientated. The course they're playing on, they have to hit it through things and it fires it off. Like, I want it to go silly, really. I just want it to be, but they won't. It's so disappointed.
It's just what I really want to try and understand is like who is this actually aimed at?
Americans.
Who's going to watch this in the long term? Because what you've done, you've taken golf, which is an outdoor sport. Obviously, we all know there are issues with tournament play, and there's a lot of people who don't have the time to watch it, the inclination to watch it. A lot of people who find it boring. A lot of people who play golf will not watch tour golf, and tour golf forever has been the only mainstay as far as golf entertainment is concerned. Obviously, you had the Golf Channel and things like the Big Break, but it's mostly tour golf. YouTube golf sits kind of to the side of this. Obviously, it's become more and more popular, and there's a lot of people who love watching YouTube golf. But a lot of people who watch YouTube golf will not watch tour golf. A lot of people who watch tour golf don't give a crap about YouTube golf, which is perfectly fine. So you've taken golf off the golf course, you've put it inside, and then tried to make it as much like the golf course as possible.
Yeah,
you already have the golf course.
You've got golf outside.
Yeah,
you can go play it outside. The reason that they've put the TGL and they've moved it to American primetime is to try and get that primetime audience and to try and get people kind of interested and invested within it. Now, I personally can't remember what the ratings were like last year. I think they were better in places than expected.
Yeah.
So potentially
I think they peaked and troughed quite a lot.
Yeah, I think he was when like Tiger, Rory, all the rest of it were playing.
Yeah, there was a definite boost when Boston Common were playing and when Tiger was also at Jupiter.
Yeah, which I think makes perfect sense. If you're watching, because how long is the run of episodes? Is it like 10, 12 episodes?
Something like that.
Yeah. If Tiger's playing and Rory's playing, I will have more incentive to watch that. And it's the same if it's the World Cup or the Euros. I will watch England versus Germany. Chances are I'm not going to tune in for Albania versus Hungary.
And you'll watch Latvia.
Of course I'll watch Latvia. Got battered the other day, didn't they? Jesus.
They did. Really well.
But, that's not to say that people from... The thing is, it's not to say in the World Cup, people from Hungary and Latvia, whoever, like they're ever going to qualify, Latvia that is, Hungary, great history.
I don't think you need to apologise to the people of Hungary. I think they understand.
When your team plays, you're going to watch. I have a sneaking suspicion that the people from Boston are not that engaged with Boston Common.
No.
I don't think the people from Atlanta are going to be on the street riling up support because Atlanta Drive are taking on Jupiter
Links.
Whatever the hell they're called. Exactly. Yet. Teams only work when they have a connection to fans. Forcing teams upon prospective fans does not work. And you're not going to do that without history. You're not going to do that without excitement by the people watching. And this is not a format that's going to do it. Like you said, you're going to watch, you're going to tune in if Rory McIlroy is playing, not because he's playing for a certain team. People don't give a crap about Jupiter Links, but they're going to watch Tiger if he turns up. It's as simple as that. But that again puts us in the perspective of why not just hold it as a tournament?
Because of the time.
But there's no, like, the people who are involved in TGL, like, why not just get them all and play individually?
Yeah.
But it's listen,
Because you can't sell Rory McIlroy merch, but you can sell.
Well, isn't that
Boston Common merch?
Isn't that just a fucking indictment of what this is? Then, if we are putting it, if we are only making it, and we're only getting people to play in the TGL so you can sell shirts for Atlanta Drive or wherever it is, then that's just crap, and that's just the worst thing. It's kind of like the frigging hammer that they were using when they used to throw it in.
The FedEx.
Yeah.
Brought to you by FedEx.
FedEx hammer. Just off.
This podcast is good.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm just tired and
Okay.
I'm just grumpy. If they make it better and it's more watchable and it's more exciting, then great. You know, this could be fantastic. I just don't think it will be, and it's just not holding my interest. But there's a lot of people involved in this. There's a lot of people putting time into it, and probably a lot of people who really did enjoy the first season. So great.
Yeah.
You know, if you've enjoyed it, great. You know, knock yourselves out.
Literally knock yourself out.
And I'll give it with the hammer, the FedEx hammer. I will watch it again, and I will give it a go. But I'm only going to watch it and give it a go because we're probably going to be talking about it on the podcast.
Correct.
Maybe it's just not aimed at me.
Maybe you're too old and grumpy. Have you ever thought about that?
Maybe it's just...
It might not. That's the thing. It might not be for golf fans. It might be for people who they want to get. Like they want to get people into golf, and this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Why is that guy wearing that necklace and doing that silly dance?
I like how they're mic'd up, and you get to hear a little bit more
that's
from.
cool.
There are elements to it that's nice, but
The best thing about it, for me, is ignore all the primetime crap because it doesn't really affect us. Like, great, if you're in Florida, you want to watch it primetime, amazing. That doesn't bother me. The most exciting thing was the fact it was in a stadium and you had fans like there to actually create some kind of atmosphere. But from what people were saying last time, actually the fan experience from people there wasn't that great. Because like all the mics and stuff that you hear at home,
just come into the broadcast.
it just comes to broadcast. It doesn't like go around the.
Well, that
the
is-
stands
that
of the
is
stadium.
rubbish.
Yeah, they got to solve that. They've got to solve that because the problem with watching live golf is that you don't get the commentary, which is why, and you don't, when you go to a golf course, we experienced this at the Ryder Cup. You don't actually see that much golf when you go to a golf tournament. You might see a few people walk past, someone hits a shot, whatever. But they've got people watching a TV show where they can show them as many shots as they can play. And, so that bit's
You
solved.
see it all.
Yeah, you're seeing all of the
Yeah.
shots. You're watching it on TV. You don't have to go anywhere. You can be at home, comfy while you watch it. Great. Doesn't cost you very much because you just got to pay your subscription to get to the broadcast or whatever. But the one bit that the fans want is the new bit, which is the fact the players being mic'd up. So if the in the stadium fans aren't getting the best bit and the at home fans are, why would you even go?
Yeah.
Because the atmosphere, if they're trying to build atmosphere, they've got to give.
Season ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what?
TGL season.
I will.
Good Lord.
I'll give it another go, and I'll try and go into it with a much more open mind because I'm very much aware as I'm hearing myself talk that I've kind of come to a decision on this already, which I don't think is fair over.
Yeah.
over
Okay.
one
Well, that's
season.
very grown up of you.
I think so.
Well done.
But
Proud of you. No, don't butt it now.
But the 38% increased green is not quite.
it's not quite.
You're looking
hitting-
forward to the revetted
hitting
face.
the mark. Do you like a revetted
It's not
face?
quite pushed the needle yet, but
Yeah.
39,
Yeah.
maybe.
To be honest, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm actually. At least I'm feeling something about it. At least it's just not apathy. So
That's good.
At least it's making me. At least it's making me emotional.
It's
in
stirring
some
something inside of
respect,
you.
yeah.
Speaking of emotional, let's just talk about Keegan Bradley very quickly before we end. Keegan Bradley said this in a recent interview. He said, "You win, it's glory for a lifetime. You lose, it's I'm going to have to sit with this for the rest of my life." This is straight after Bethpage back. It's his first interview after the hubbub of the tournament has died down. And he said, "There's no part of me that thinks I'll ever get over this." It's very Ian Beale.
Yeah, there's 2 bags now in that garage, isn't there? 2
He's-
unopened bags.
I don't dislike Keegan. There's a part of him that I kind of enjoyed the charm about how he is so sort of he holds the Ryder Cup with such weight, and you don't see that from the American side that much. I just feel he's playing up to it a little bit now. A little bit. I feel like he's just like he knows this character he's got of being kind of this Ryder Cup American representative of I actually really care about it and I love this and I haven't opened my suitcase for so many years because we lost. And now he's doing this again, and I don't know. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting a little bit tired of it.
Get a bit sick of it. It's too damn bad.
You know what? I kind of get it.
Yeah.
And the Ryder Cup is obviously such an important thing within the game of golf, and for players and for captains, it does leave a lasting effect, like emotionally. Like you see all the time with the players saying, it's the best week of my life, it's the best experience, whatever. And then if you lose, it could be one of the worst. In Keegan Bradley's defense, like, he was put into a really weird position with the captaincy. If you've watched this podcast before, he never should have been captain, not because he's a bad captain. He should have been playing. It was obvious from the moment he was picked as captain that he was going to have a great couple of years and play his way onto the team anyway. And then he couldn't pick himself. All that's gone. The team that he had didn't perform for him. It was the best possible team at the best possible time in the best possible location, and they still lost. So that's gonna suck, because he must have been going into the Ryder Cup with a real confidence that they were going to win. We know that home Ryder Cups generally go to the home team. I would say that the teams were pretty even. I think the Europeans went in as slight favourites as far as like the player depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Keegan, it's got to be a real kick in the nuts that they've lost this one, especially after all the build up.
Yeah. There was a lot to it. There was a lot, you know, whether he won or lost, it was always going to come out either side that he's done an amazing job or he hasn't done an amazing job, and because he's got this narrative against him. And we as a consumer, as a viewer of golf, have seen this play out from the start of Full Swing to all the, you've seen all the stages and everything, the way it's gone, and then how he's played this year. And he has come out the other side not in the way he was hoping to.
Yeah, I imagine he was hoping. I thought that, and we spoke about this while we were there actually, that he had brought the suitcase with him, and that like on the final green, on the final green, as they were lifting the trophy, he was going to wheel it out and like open it up.
I think what he might be best doing is taking that suitcase, taking the one from Bethpage, just building a fire in his back garden and just burning them.
Yeah.
Like pictures of his ex. Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Just forget about it. Move on. It's not going to do him any favours hanging on to this kind of stuff now. You know what I mean? Can you hear this? Can you hear this now?
Yeah.
His tears.
That's Keegan's tears
hitting the roof.
Hitting the roof. That seems like a good place to end. Thank you, Keegan.
I've got one question to finish on.
Good.
Does he captain at Adair?
Oh, maybe that's what he's angling for.
I would say no, because I think it sends out a really weird message if you are going to reward success.
Okay.
Reward failure, should I say.
Okay.
I don't think he should.
Okay.
He could, and also you would say, well, who else is going to do it? And you're going into a Ryder Cup, which, Europe again are going to be pretty strong favourites, especially in Ireland. Just imagine those crowds; it's going to be amazing. So I don't think he will.
Mick?
I think they'll ask Tiger to do it.
Okay.
I think they'll ask Donald, and he'll turn it down. And whoever does it in Ireland will be going up against Tiger. And I still think Europe will win.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't think Tiger's record in the Ryder Cup will improve if he's the captain.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all I had.
I am a.
For God's sake. Right, you're in Egypt right now, so go and see a pyramid.
Go and see
Just
a
one.
pyramid.
Just one. Then go to the range.
By the pyramid.
Agree?
Yeah.
You're going to have to be really nice to cats whilst you're over there.
Oh, they do.
gotta put that to
they
bed.
do like cats.
It's true. I'm a big Anubis guy, if I'm being honest with you. So,
Set.
yeah.
And comment below your favorite Greek, your favorite Egyptian
Greek.
god, your favorite Egyptian pharaoh,
Greek.
Greek.
Yeah,
Why not?
If you prefer,
your favorite Greek dish, and your favorite
if you prefer the
Egyptian.
Aegean Sea over the Nile, well, it's up to you.
Right, this is cooked.
Yeah.
We're ending now.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.